Hey, what's up, everyone? I dug up 2 of the creepy Reddit threads on the internet for you. Like, subscribe, and let's dive in. I, 28 female, have been dreaming about a house I've never been to for months. Yesterday, I received the deed in the mail. Something had been following her through sleep for months. I'm a second-grade teacher. I live alone in a 1-bedroom apartment. My boyfriend Ryan says I've been talking in my sleep about a house. For 4 months, I've had the same dream. A Victorian house with turquoise paint peeling off shutters. Oval window on the 2nd floor, right side. 7 porch steps. 3rd one creaks. I walk up, reach for the brass doorknob, wake before turning it. Dreams getting sharper. Last week, I smelled jasmine. 3 nights ago, I saw the number, 1847 Ashwood Drive. Yesterday, manila envelope in my door, no return address. Inside, property deed with my name, 1847 Ashwood Drive, transferred 2 weeks ago. No explanation. I drove there today. The house is real. Every detail matched. 3rd step creaked when I walked up. Door was unlocked. Coffee mug on kitchen counter, still warm. Someone here recently. Living room walls covered in photographs. Hundreds. All of me. Baby pictures I've never seen. Me in a yellow onesie in rooms I don't recognize. School photos my adoptive parents don't have copies of. College candids taken from across campus. Photos of me and Ryan from last month, shot from behind a parked car. 28 years documented by someone I've never met. Someone watching from angles I never noticed. I'm in my car outside. Should call police, should call Ryan. But I keep thinking, why do I remember this house when I've never been here? The house had been waiting. She stayed. I forced myself to go back inside, had to look closer. The photos are organized by year. North wall, infancy through elementary. East wall, middle school through high school. South wall, college and after. West wall started 3 months ago. Someone curated my life like a museum exhibit. I recognize the locations now. Childhood backyard photo taken through the fence slats. Angle all wrong for anyone invited inside. Middle school cafeteria shot from the parking lot, zoomed through windows. I'm holding a lunch tray, laughing at something. My college dorm, photographed from across the quad. My 3rd floor right window visible with me silhouetted inside. The coffee shop 2 blocks from my apartment where I go every Wednesday morning. Me at my usual table with my gradebook, shot from a car across the street last week. Upstairs I found a bulletin board. My work schedule from this semester printed out, recess times highlighted. Ryan's license plate number written on an index card with make and model. Map with my apartment building circled in red marker, my unit number written beside it. Dates, times, routes I take. The bedroom looks recently used. Prescription bottles in the bathroom. Atenolol, levothyroxine, name on the label I don't recognize, woman's name. Closet full of women's clothing, sizes similar to mine, style dated like someone in her 40s. Kitchen had milk expired 3 weeks ago, bread dated from last month, dish in the sink. Someone was living here. Watching my life unfold in real time while surrounded by 28 years of surveillance. I called Ryan from the kitchen. Couldn't get the words out right, kept stammering about photos and dreams. He kept asking where I was, if I was hurt, if someone was there with me. Told him I was fine, I was safe, but I needed him to listen. He wanted to call the police. I said no, not yet. Because I need to understand first. Why do I dream about a house I've never been to? How did someone get photos from when I was a baby? Photos my adoptive parents never had copies of. Who was living here? And why does it feel like I've been here before? The house had been waiting for her. Ryan came with her the next morning. Ryan stood in the living room staring at the photo walls. Didn't say anything for a full minute. Then he asked if I wanted to leave, call the police, burn it all down. I told him we needed to search first. We went through the house systematically. Found mail on the office desk addressed to Margaret Hollis. Name meant nothing to me. Bills, catalogs, a reminder card for a dentist appointment she'd missed 2 months ago. The office had filing cabinets, 4 drawers. Ryan opened the first one. Folders labeled by year, 1998 through 2026. He pulled one at random, 2015. Inside, photos of me at college, printed emails I'd sent to friends from my university account, my class schedule, a photocopy of my student ID, medical records from the campus health center. How did she get those? I opened 2008, my middle school report cards, copies of permission slips my adoptive parents signed for field trips, newspaper clipping about the spelling bee I won in 7th grade, my face circled in red pen. School photos I remember taking, but never saw the prints. Every year of my life documented in folders. School records that should have been private, medical records that were definitely stolen, newspaper clippings mentioning my teaching awards from last year. Someone cataloged 28 years of my existence in filing cabinets. Ryan found the obituary in the 2026 folder, printed from the county newspaper website. Margaret Hollis, 46, died suddenly. Service is private. No surviving family listed. Date of death, 3 weeks ago. I sat down on the office floor. The dream started 3 weeks ago, exactly when she died. Ryan kept asking if I was okay, if I needed water, if we should leave. I couldn't answer because I was trying to understand. Someone I never met spent her entire adult life watching mine, building a shrine, stealing my records, following me. And when she died, she left me this house full of evidence. What did she want from me? Why did she do this? Why leave me the deed? And why, after she died, did I start dreaming about her house? This is absolutely horrifying. Have you checked if your birth mother had any connection to your adoptive family? There has to be a reason she was able to get so close. As another adoptee, I'm so sorry this happened to you. This is every adopted person's nightmare. Not a loving reunion, but discovering you were watched without consent your entire life. She posted an update. I went back to the house and found something worse. I went back yesterday without Ryan. Found a locked drawer, pried it open. Inside, 28 journals, one for each year since 1998. First entry, January 1998. Today I gave her up. 6 months old. Closed adoption. But I can't let her disappear. Margaret Hollis was my birth mother. She found my adoptive parents, befriended my mother at the library using a fake name, Susan. My parents never knew who she really was. The journals chronicle everything. Every school play, concert, award ceremony. My parents thought Susan was supportive. She was there watching, photographing, documenting my entire childhood. She followed me to college, got a job in the campus town, attended my graduation. I found the photo, barely visible in the crowd, circled in red. Recent entries describe watching me meet Ryan, following our dates, mapping my routines. Final entries? Terminal diagnosis 2 months ago. She planned to reveal herself on my 29th birthday. Ran out of time. Left me the house, hoped dreams would guide me here. Her theory? I spent my first 6 months in this house. Infant spatial memory retained the layout. When she died, the memories surfaced. My birth mother surveilled my life for 28 years. OP, please tell me you've contacted a lawyer. Even if she's deceased, this level of stalking for 28 years has to be documented. What if there are other people involved? The detail about her planning to reveal herself on your 29th birthday makes my skin crawl. What was her endgame? Did she think you'd be happy about this? This is one of the most disturbing boundary violations I've seen described. OP, please prioritize your mental health and safety. Document everything before touching anything else in that house. Agreed. This goes beyond typical reunification fantasy into obsessive surveillance and identity appropriation. The fact that she integrated herself into OP's adoptive family's life is especially concerning. There may be other victims. The final entry was a confession and an apology. Last journal entry dated 5 weeks ago. Margaret planned to reveal herself on my 29th birthday next month. Wanted to explain everything, apologize for the surveillance. She'd written a letter for that day, found it sealed in an envelope marked with my birthday date. Opened it this morning at the kitchen table. She wrote she knew she violated my autonomy, knew what she did was wrong, but she couldn't stay away. Watching me grow was her only joy. Hoped I'd forgive her someday. House is paid off, no strings attached. She wanted me to have something real from her. I cross-referenced journal entries with my childhood memories. Third grade entry describes meeting me at the park, bringing cookies, asking about my spelling test. She wrote how proud she felt when I said I'd studied hard. I remember that lady. The nice one from the park who always had cookies in her bag. Asked about school. My parents thought she was friendly, harmless. It was Margaret. Susan, the library friend. She was there my entire life, hiding in plain sight. I don't know what to do now. Tell my adoptive parents their friend Susan was my birth mother surveilling their daughter for 28 years? Tell Ryan what the letter says? Margaret wrote she noticed he makes me happy? Keep this house, paid off but filled with evidence of lifetime violation? Donate the surveillance archives? I don't have answers to any of it. I left the journals on the kitchen table and walked out, locked the door behind me. Some mysteries hurt too much to fully solve. The house would remain locked. The fact that your dreams were actually infant memories is chilling. Our brains suppress trauma, but it always finds a way back. You need therapy ASAP to process this. OP, you need to sweep your apartment and car for tracking devices. If she was this obsessive and had this much access to your life, there's a real chance she planted something. On to the next one. My dying grandmother started speaking in her dead sister's voice, and I don't know who I just buried. Some voices should stay buried, but in a dying woman's throat, a dead sister was waking up. I'm a hospice care aide. For 3 weeks, I've been living in my grandmother's house doing night shift care, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Doctors gave her a month, maybe 6 weeks. Diane handles days. I take nights starting at 8. Grandma raised me after my mother, Elena, left when I was 9. Some falling out I never understood. We haven't spoken in years. When hospice started, it was just me, Diane, and weekend nurses. The routine was simple. Check vitals, adjust oxygen, manage pain meds. Most nights, she barely woke. 3 nights ago, adjusting her pillows around 2 a.m., her eyes snapped open. The voice that came out wasn't hers. Deeper, rougher, different accent, rural, not city. "You look so much like your mother at your age," it said. Not Grandma's thin rasp. This had weight. "Grandma?" "I'm not your grandmother, sweetie. I'm Margaret, her twin sister." Margaret died in 1987, car accident, years before I was born. Margaret's voice recounted my childhood, breaking my arm on the swing set at 6, hiding under the table during storms. The lullaby Grandma sang, details only she'd know. Then Margaret told me about their game. "We switched places as girls," she said through Grandma's dying mouth. "Our parents couldn't tell us apart. We'd swap clothes, names, lives for a day, just for fun. We got so good at pretending to be each other that we never stopped." She smiled with Grandma's cracked lips. "Not even after the accident." I'm in the dark hallway outside her room. I hear her breathing through the monitor, shallow, rattling. I don't know who I spent 27 years calling Grandma. Margaret had been dead for 39 years. The woman who switched with her had raised this girl through scraped knees and nightmares. But Margaret's voice was alive. The woman in that bed had raised her through 27 years of birthdays and thunderstorms. But which woman was it really? She needed proof, but the dead don't leave fingerprints in old photographs. I spent the rest of that night searching online. Margaret Ann Lawson died March 14, 1987. Single vehicle car accident on Route 9. 28 years old. Years before I was born. Grandma cycled through voices all night, her thin rasp asking for water. Then Margaret's deeper growl talking about a vacation to Cape Cod in 1995, a wedding she attended in 2001, things that happened after she supposedly died. When Diane arrived at 8 a.m., she paused in the doorway. "She seems different today," she said, checking the chart. "Can't put my finger on it." I didn't tell her. What would I say? After Diane took over, I pulled the photo albums from the hall closet. Black and white pictures from the 50s through the 80s. 2 identical girls in matching dresses. 2 identical teenagers. 2 identical women. I studied every photo for an hour. A freckle, a different smile, anything, nothing. They were perfect mirrors. If they switched, no one would have known. That night, around midnight, Margaret's voice came back while I was checking the morphine drip. "Your mother knows," she said through cracked lips. "Elena's always known. Why do you think she left?" My hand froze on the IV line. She looked at me after the funeral and saw it in my eyes. She knew I wasn't her mother anymore. The voice laughed, wet, rattling. Or maybe she knew I'd always been her mother, and the woman in the coffin was the stranger. I'm sitting in the kitchen. It's 3 a.m. The monitor crackles with shallow breathing. I don't know which voice is lying. 2 women, 1 coffin, 1 life stolen, and a daughter who left because she knew. One voice was winning. Margaret's voice is getting stronger. Grandma's thin rasp is fading. Last night, Margaret talked for 20 minutes straight about the accident. She described the car spinning on wet asphalt, the impact, the glass. But she described it like she crawled out of the wreckage, like she watched the ambulance arrive, like she survived. "I remember the EMT's face when he saw us both in the front seat," she said. "The way he kept asking which one was driving." I went through Grandma's medical files this morning, found records from 1988 onward. There's a surgical scar on her lower abdomen she always said was from an appendix removal when I was a kid. But the old insurance papers show Margaret had an appendectomy in 1979. Grandma, my grandmother, never had that surgery. My mother Elena hasn't visited in 3 years. Even when hospice started, she sent flowers but never came. We've been estranged since I was 16. I always thought it was about me. But what if she couldn't stand to look at whoever was in that bed? What if she's known for decades and couldn't face it? Tonight, mid-conversation, Grandma's voice came back, confused, tired. "Why are you crying?" she asked. "Was I talking in my sleep again?" She didn't remember a word Margaret had said. I'm taking care of a dying woman, but I don't know who she is. The body was dying, but which mind would it take with it? This is genuinely terrifying. I don't even know what I'd do in your situation. Have you tried recording it when the voice changes? This reads like the plot of a thriller, but if it's real, you need to document everything. Write down every conversation word for word. This is going to haunt you otherwise. I work in hospice, and I've seen terminal delirium cause some really strange personality changes. The brain does weird things when it's shutting down. That said, the level of detail you're describing is unusually specific. I thought the same thing at first. She's on morphine, she's dying, her brain is misfiring. But the voice isn't confused or disoriented, it's coherent and deliberate. It told me about breaking my arm on the swing set when I was 6, the hospital visit, what the doctor said. Margaret died months before I was born. She never met me. She called the one person who might know the truth. I found the box my grandmother hid in 1987. I found a locked metal box under a loose floorboard in her bedroom. I haven't opened it yet, but finding it broke something in me. I called my mother Elena, first time in 3 years. She answered on the 4th ring. I told her about the voices, the switching, Margaret. She didn't say anything for a long time. Then she started crying. "I couldn't look at her the same after Margaret died," she said. "Something in her eyes was different. I was 10. I knew my own mother. But after the funeral, she wasn't the same. I spent my whole life wondering if I was crazy." Grandma's condition collapsed overnight. Diane called hospice this morning. Hours, maybe a day left. Tonight, around 9 p.m., I heard both voices at once. They were arguing through her body. 2 voices layered over each other, fighting for control of the same dying throat. Margaret's voice screamed, "She left me to die in that car!" Grandma's voice screamed back, "You're the liar! You always were!" Both voices begging me to believe them. Both claiming the other one stole her life, stole her daughter, stole everything. I stood frozen in the doorway. I didn't know who to believe. I still don't. The arguing got louder, faster. The words blurred into incomprehensible screaming. Two women fighting inside one dying body. Diane heard it from downstairs and came running. It's quiet now. She's unconscious. Morphine drip maxed out. I don't know who's going to die when she stops breathing. Two sisters, one body, and a war with no winner. You need to look at the death certificate from 1987. If there was a twin switch, there might be inconsistencies in the documentation. Wrong birthmarks, wrong scars, blood type mismatches. Your mother knows something. The fact that she won't visit her own dying mother is a massive red flag. People avoid deathbeds when they're afraid of what might be said. Exactly this. And if the switch happened before OP was born, the mother would have been raised by the real grandmother and would absolutely know the difference. She's staying away because she doesn't want to be there when the truth comes out. The screaming stopped. She died at 3:47 a.m. Both voices cut off at once. Then silence. I sat with the body until sunrise. Couldn't move. Diane handled the funeral home, the paperwork, everything. I just sat there. The funeral was 3 days ago. Small. Me, Diane, two neighbors. My mother, Elena, never showed. I've been clearing the house alone, boxing up clothes, books, medicine bottles, a whole life I might have misunderstood. Yesterday, moving the bed in her room, I noticed a floorboard that didn't sit flush. I pried it up. Underneath, wrapped in layers of plastic, I found a locked metal box. Old, rusted at the edges. I broke the lock with a hammer. 2 birth certificates, both dated April 12, 1959. Margaret Ann Lawson. And the name I knew as my grandmother's. But the handwriting didn't match the printed names underneath. Someone had written over them, swapped them. Medical records from 1988 onward with contradictions that don't make sense. An appendectomy scar Margaret had in 1979, documented on my grandmother's body in a 1991 physical. Blood type listed as O positive in 1986, A negative in 1989. Photographs I'd never seen. The twins at 16, at a lake, arms around each other. 2 faces so identical I still can't tell them apart. And a letter. Yellowed paper. Dated March 18, 1987. 4 days after the accident. The first line. To whoever finds this, I need you to know what I did and why I can never tell. It goes on for half a page. The handwriting gets shakier, more desperate. Then it stops mid-sentence, like she lost her nerve, or couldn't finish the confession. I called my mother Elena. The number's disconnected. No forwarding information. I'm alone in this house. Sitting at the kitchen table. 2 birth certificates with swapped names. 2 identical faces smiling from 1985. An unfinished confession from 1987. I buried someone 3 days ago. I will never know who she really was. 1 grave, 2 names. A truth no one will ever speak. I'm getting chills reading this. Sometimes dying people become conduits for things that need to be said. Whether that's just the subconscious or something else, I don't know. And that's the last story for today.